we have a guest.
We do have a guest.
We do have a guest. And Mersh, why don't you introduce our guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, host of the American Journal, master of the blade, and our brochacho, Mr. Gusto Montgomery himself, Harrison Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Harrison Smith, baby. What's up, man?
Not too much. Thanks for having me on, fellas. How are y'all doing?
You know you're welcome whenever you want on this show. Thank you for coming on. Today, Dan, every time we have you on, it's something just bad.
Are we just becoming like a bad omen for
we
you guys
apologized for that. The last time we were on, not the
we were on live. Oh yeah, during the
we were on Owen's show when the Alex verdict came down. Like, we're really sorry. I don't think it's our fault, but we always happen to be, somewhere in the InfoWars vicinity.
It just works out that way sometimes. I'm sort of in the same boat because I was hosting Alex's show on January 6th. Today, this is how much trouble InfoWars is in. Alex wasn't able to do the first hour of his show because he was being deposed for a bankruptcy hearing. So when Owen got sentenced, I was once again sitting behind the desk on Alex's show. So I don't know. It just works out that way sometimes.
And also, I think Harrison does have the most guest appearances on ROTC. I'm trying to think of the people.
I think he does.
Yeah, you're the top one, I believe.
He's our go-to.
Yeah, he's our go-to guy. And by the way, I hope you love that. Our thumbnail today was you with the blade, which was badass photo. I got to give you credit. That was a badass photo.
Thank you very much. Yeah, they said, it's time we update your headshots, and I said, all right, just let me bring in a katana. Don't ask questions. Just let me have a sword. And I'll pose with it. And I was bringing up shots from anime, being like, I want to look like this. I want to look like Mugen from Samurai Champloo. So that's what we did.
Now the bankruptcy court's like, we want that sword. He's like, hey, I brought that from home. That's coming. That's going back in my car.
Harrison has no time because he's watching the Netflix live action One Piece that just came out. So he's like really busy, watching his anime.
I always thought you were more of a Euphoria guy.
No, I never watched One Piece, and also I don't have time to watch any TV ever anymore. So yeah. I'm just there's no time.
So yeah, like today, we just covered it a little bit at the beginning, but Owen got 2 months in prison for. We still can't figure out what. We're still trying to figure out what he did.
Yeah, I read the criminal complaint that said, and I quote, while he didn't go in the building, he didn't have to. That's literally what it said. And I'm like, what? So we don't even have to break the law that we're alleged to have broken at this. Because what was it? What was it? Staying in a place unauthorized? I don't know what it is. Like trespassing, essentially. And it was like, but you weren't even in there.
Well, it has to do with him getting arrested in 2019, December of 2019, when he interrupted Jerry Nadler. And then he signed a deferred agreement thing. But it's all baloney. Basically, he had to do community service, and he did his community service. They just lied about that completely in the sentencing. But it dates back to that, where he basically was restricted from doing certain things on the Capitol for 4 months. It was supposed to be 4 months at the beginning of 2020. Then it got pushed back because of COVID. It's all bullshit. I mean, he literally is being imprisoned for 2 months because of his speech. Like, they don't make any bones about it. They're like, here his speech. I mean, I listed out on Twitter. It's like, they're like, he announced, he said, he exclaimed, it's like every synonym for speech that you can imagine. Yeah, it was for speech. And they literally said, like, he didn't go into the Capitol, but he didn't need to because other people inspired by his rhetoric did go in.
So
what about Ray Epps or Nick Fuentes or I don't know, everyone else that actually said storm the Capitol?
It's
like, you know what I mean? Like, Owen never said that. There's a lot of guys that literally said we're going to storm the Capitol, and they were on tape and nothing.
And not only that, I think with people like, because now we've had the luck to like meet a lot of people in InfoWars, and the one thing that we've always said is like, these guys aren't fucking grifters who are just saying stuff because when you talk to them like off air, what they say they believe. Like, it's not. This isn't like you know what I mean. Like, some people, it's like they go with the wind and stuff like that, depending on what what's happening in the moment or what's the right thing to say. You guys are very you believe on air what you believe off air, and it's actually, I think that's why you guys, InfoWars specifically, gets punished so much. It's because you're not going to change your thoughts, or like Jesse Ventura did and all that stuff, where it's like, oh no now the vax is the best thing in the world. And I think you're getting punished just for being sincere. I really believe that. Like I think that's a big part of it because, like I said, you read these complaints and you're like, I saw your tweet too, or it's okay. So speech, so speech, so what you're saying is that words were said, and now he's going, even if it's for a day, he's going to jail for it.
Yeah, it's essentially saying that because he expressed an idea that other people who did commit violence also believed, he is therefore responsible for the violence that they committed, right? Because he questioned the election, and because the fraudulent election is why people rioted, he is therefore responsible for the riot. Like it's completely insane what's happening. And I really think it has a lot to do with the fact that Owen and Alex are both activists. Like their whole thing. I mean, the motto of InfoWars is you are the resistance. It's about getting active. It's about getting involved. It's about encouraging people to actually take part and not take it sitting down. And I really think that's the real thing they don't like, because they would prefer you can compare you are the resistance to trust the plan, right? The
Yes.
QAnon just sit back, trust the plan, don't do anything for yourself. Like they wouldn't care if we just were sitting back and commentating, but it's the fact that we encourage people to get involved, and especially Alex and Owen are out there with the bullhorn, with the armored truck, actually doing things and actually taking it to the streets. They really don't like that. It's the same reason they went after the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers.
Yep.
If you're actually doing something, that's when they go after you.
And I'm glad you brought up the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys. I know Stuart Rhodes and like Enrique Taro, Joe Biggs got really fucking railroaded. I gotta ask, is it kind of like, I don't know, I feel like this is kind of screwed up, but I feel like the system has me so buck broken at this point that when I found out like Owen was getting 2 months, I literally went, "Oh, thank God!" Like instead, you know what I mean? Instead of like, "This is an outrage," he only didn't like. I just went, "Woo, okay, my man. All right, 2 months. You'll get through that, man. You'll get out. All right." Like, because with all this other shit going on, I'm like, dude, we've hung out with Owen, man. That man could he can go. We were partying with Owen, and he's just a cool dude. And I was like, man, I don't want to find out he gets 17 years or some shit,
And it sucks, but isn't that the point? Isn't the point to make you feel
great?
Yeah, that's
great.
What I'm saying. No,
it's so flinchy.
It's natural to feel that way because obviously it could be worse, but they make you feel like, oh my God, thank you. They're letting him only get to, he's only going to go. And then you catch yourself, we both before the show, you catch yourself going like, wait, this is fucked up. It doesn't matter if it's for a day, but in reality, as a person, you're like, I'm glad he's not, they didn't just really nail him to a cross, but it doesn't matter. It sets a precedent of like you said, you have free speech until you don't have free speech. Nobody has it anymore. We're pretending that we do. No, you don't.
Ray Epps has free speech.
Well, Ray Epps has, I'm sorry. Unless you're a government asset, you don't have free speech.
Yeah, no, it's no, you're exactly right. It does feel that way, where it's like, oh, thank goodness, only 2 months of his life he's going to be spending in a concrete box with a bunch of like murderers. Like, yeah. It's completely unfair. But then you look at the other sentences, and I mean, the Proud Boys is maybe the most ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, it's varying levels, because on one hand, Owen is a journalist. He actually actively encouraged people not to go into the Capitol, like did the opposite, which if they really did think that this was like almost an insurrection and that all the congressmen almost died, like they should be giving medals to Alex Jones and Owen Shroyer for using their influence, because they could have gone up and gone, we're good, now's the time, we're going to get them, you get in there and don't leave until, they could have done that and people would have listened, and it would have been way worse if they had. Instead, they used their influence, they used their the respect they have from the crowd that was there to say, don't go in the Capitol. God only knows how many people in that crowd they saved. If they convinced one person to not go in the Capitol, that one person, is free now because they listened to him. So it's varying degrees. So Owen is a journalist who they are literally putting in jail because of what he said on his show, questioning the election, or even 5 months after January 6th, like they actually quote in the sentencing memo a show on InfoWars from May 21st, where Owen says, like, I think the quote he said was like, it's like a mouse roars. Like it basically was saying January 6th was nothing compared to what Black Lives Matter and Antifa did. So they're taking quotes from his program from 5 months after the event and using that as evidence of why he should go to prison. That's terrifying. But then with the Proud Boys, you have an unspoken conspiracy. They literally got convicted for conspiracy, despite the court and everybody acknowledging that there was no communication, no plan. Tario was in prison on the day that it happened. So we're so far gone in this country. I don't even, it's like, it's not even fun anymore. It's not, there's nothing to like point out. This is the difficulty with being a conspiracy theorist these days, is you used to have to like reveal things. You used to have to like expose plans and do research and figure out what they were going to do and show people. And now they're just doing it in your face. And I'm just like reading mainstream media headlines being like, here you go. This is what's happening. I don't have anything to add to this. It's just you either realize how fucked up all this is or not, and that's it.
That's a good point. Like, you don't have to go behind this, like, break it down anymore. They're doing it to you, and they're laughing at you. Like, they really are. And I'm not saying that people say it, but they really are. They're laughing at you because they know they could get away with it because they've taken control of all the points of power, including social media, including corporations. They've controlled everything. So it's what do you do? And it's like I tweeted this out earlier today. It's like, I'm waiting for one fucking one high-ranking Republican official to come out and fight and say what they're doing to Owen is wrong. It's fucking bullshit. You can't do, but they're not going to do that because they talk about free speech when it's convenient. Just like all these Republicans now are like, oh yeah, the COVID thing was a mess, but during COVID, we remember a lot of you people now that are talking about it better were get the shot, everyone go get it. It's the best thing in the world. The sad part is when you look back is there is nobody who's fighting for you. Who's fighting for you? They're going to do a committee for an inquiry of another committee if maybe they'll impeach Biden. Come on.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, the Republicans are like worse than the Democrats. I know it's kind of a cliche talking point, but it really is true that like they are, they're like scared little puppy. Like I picture the Republicans, I just picture like a dog that's been beaten so much, it's just like pissing itself in the corner, shaking, just like scared to speak out. And it's just like, what do you have to lose? They smear you on everything anyway. They already call you Nazis and whatever. Why would you not stand up for somebody like Owen Shroyer who did nothing wrong? It's provable they did nothing wrong. I mean, these people don't do anything that's not pre-approved by some PR, controller that doesn't have America's best interest in mind. Certainly, it's infuriating, man. I honestly don't know where we go from here.
I actually think it's worse than that. I don't think they're scared. They're afraid, and I don't think they're scared at all. I think they fucking despise us just as much as Democrats do. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's not like why aren't you going out there fighting for the little man and doing your job? Oh no, we're doing our job. We're working with them to fucking rape your family's future. I thought were you not aware of this?
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to speak up for you. I want you dead.
No, we see we've transferred from Republicans were the party that conceded and gave up with dignity, right? Acting like we are just statesmen coming to a compromise where we give up everything we want and they get everything they get. But this is how politics work. It's give and take. To like they still lose at everything, but now they just are petulant and whine about it and complain. They've gone from losing with dignity and some semblance of statesmanship to losing and whining and being a bitch about it. So it's just we've been downgraded in every possible way.
But we got to own the libs, bro.
Right, and it's exactly it's these little fights that we have over dumb stuff and people sharing like fake clickbait stuff online where you're like, this shit doesn't fucking matter. None of this matters. Like we've been pointing out on the show, and I know you have, and everybody in InfoWars has. They're doing it in your face now. They're doing it in your face, and they're saying, "What are you going to do about it?" And the answer is nothing. Why? Because if you try, you're going to go to jail for 2 months. If you try, you're going to lose. You're going to lose your job. If you try, they're going to do what they did to Madison Cawthorn, who came out and goes, "Hey, they invited me to a gay orgy," and then they're like, "Oh, look at all these tapes we found of him. We better get rid of him." And they did, and they did, because you step out of line, they will do everything to destroy you. They're calling Elon Musk, who, by the way, I'm on the fence still about this guy, but they're calling him a traitor because he wouldn't turn on Starlink for Ukraine because they wanted to kill civilians. It's like, they will control. And you know what? Just now we saw Holly talking at the beginning of the show about, the government was going to Twitter and telling them to censor stuff and this and that. And I'm like, that's great. I hate it. I don't care. What are we going to do about it? Like, I love hearing what they did, but at the end, nobody does anything about it. McCarthy's going to be in there. Mitch McConnell's corpse is going to be in there, and they're going to control all the points of power, and nobody really has power. Look what they're doing. Look, whether you like Trump or don't like Trump, right? Look what they're doing to him. Look what they're doing. And by the way, that's after he did play their game with the vaccine. He goes, look, I'm going to play the game. And even then, they were still like, nah, no, guess what? You're going to go to jail too. Everybody goes to jail. Russia's laughing at us. You saw Putin today come out and go, yeah, but I don't want to ever hear about how bad I am. You're locking up your political opponents.
Yeah, and of course, it's not just America, too. I don't know if you've seen the stats where it's like, the per 100,000 number of people that have been arrested for speech. And it's like Russia, 300. UK 3,000, like 10 times more people have been arrested in the UK for their speech for calling a lesbian or something like that than get arrested in Russia. So yeah, I'm looking at Eastern Europe. I'm looking to get I don't want to go anywhere, but yeah, we are utterly fucked. I mean, from every angle. They're like taking kids away from parents for not affirming transgenderism. The borders are open. Crime is out of control. They're prosecuting their, former or their, primary political opponents. It's just all out in the open now. So it's actually, it turns out it's way harder. It's way harder to get people to care. Yes. Like now everything's out in the open. It was easy before when everything was hidden and we could go, look at what's happening. Nobody knows this. Now everybody knows it. And we go, don't you care? Don't you care this is happening? And nobody gives a shit. It's horrifying.
It's like watching a Shyamalan movie when you already know the twist at the beginning. And there's it doesn't matter. They're doing it.
Right.
They're saying we're doing this. We're going to take your children away. New Mexico got so fucking cocky so fast that even Democrats were like, whoa, we're gonna cost us seats. Calm down, because look, they believe it. All these accounts that were simultaneously like Ted Lieu and fucking David Hogg, they were coming out and being like, this is unconstitutional. They would take your guns away in a heartbeat. But this was the Democratic talking points came out, and the Democrats talking points came out and like, look, she's going to cost us seats. We wanted to do this, but we weren't ready for that yet. We had to wait till after the election, and then we're going to do it. But she jumped the gun thinking she was going to be a hero, and now they hate her too. But and by the way, look, the good news is the sheriffs over there already said we're not enforcing it. But it's to the point now where a billionaire who invented who runs an electric car company and local sheriffs are the only thing keeping your freedoms when it should be the Constitution. And like that's the problem. Like these are the points of failure. Two people die or get replaced, and everything falls apart. Like this is the house of cards in a fucking windstorm, and I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, what the New Mexico governor reminds me of? It's like that scene in The Sopranos when Chris comes in with a bunch of watches and he's like, yeah, the FedEx truck was open right there. I just snagged them. The guy wasn't around. And Tony's like, you fucking idiot. That's a federal crime. That's messing with the mail. You want to get us all busted? It's not that they're against stealing. Yeah. It's not that they're against, getting rid of guns. It's just, you can't be so obvious with it. You got to be more careful when we're pulling these scams. That's
interstate trucking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I will say, going back to your point too about like I've jokingly said too about like Eastern Europe, Russia ain't looking so bad right now. But somebody recently on Twitter said like we need to, America's a dead country and we need to get out of here and we all need to go find some place to settle. And I'm like, and bring my guns where? Because there's nowhere on the planet you can take your guns.
No. Well, you might not need them as much in Hungary. I don't know.
There's
really not a lot
point.
Of what was it? Mysterious gentleman. What's the latest euphemism we're using these days?
What do we talk? Random guys is another
random
one.
Guys, yes, random guys in Hungary.
But yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people. I don't give a fuck how utopian your society is. I want a fucking gun. All right, I want to have a gun. I don't give a fuck if the crime rate is 0% or 100%. I want to have at least an equalizer.
No. Good.
The sad part is that there's like so many millions of. If this was like a Risk game, this is what Risk. It's like we've got enough players, we've got enough people, we've got enough patriots. It's just they're so spread out. They're all across the map. Like if I could wave a magic wand and force everybody to move to Florida or Texas, then we would have those. It would be rock solid. But instead, we've got tens of millions of patriotic Americans, all surrounded and outnumbered by the hundreds of millions of Democrats that control the cities and then therefore control the states, rig the election. So it's frustrating because it's just a matter of like consolidation. That we have the power to do it. We're just spread too thin.
Well, and then that's the other thing that would happen with COVID was they make it so you have to live near the big cities to have a job now, especially after COVID, when they shut down all the small businesses. And if you want a job, it has to be in an Amazon warehouse now, or any place that's near a big city, because they took that away from you too. They let the corporate. That's why the corporations play games, And you look back, and obviously hindsight's 2020, but we were always like, corporations are, capitalism, and we didn't realize what was happening right in front of our eyes. Is like, this isn't capitalism. This isn't what this is. 4 companies running the world isn't capitalism, and we let it. And honestly, we let it. I think after 9/11, we got so patriotic, that we thought, man, look coming together. And then we're like, we were defending these. I remember not too long ago, we were defending Budweiser. We were defending these corporations, be like, they're a private company. They could do whatever they want. And now they're like, what they want to do is cut your kids' dicks off. And you're like, whoa, wait a second. What happened?
Yeah, the problem is he went, hey, it's a private company. They could do what they want. And then Twitter came to us and went, so the government told us that we want to censor you. So
yeah. And that's what's all about. I mean, right. They circumvent the limitations of the Constitution by outsourcing it to corporations. I mean, that's what stakeholder capitalism is, right? This is what the World Economic Forum was created to bring about. And yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, there's an interesting twist in this that you've got these. It's almost like the only corporations that are still American are the defense companies, because legally, they have to hire American. They can't outsource because it's national security, so they have to hire Americans. So it's this weird thing where it's the defense companies that have gotten into all these insane wars that have destroyed us. But now that process has happened, they're the only companies that are actually still American and actually maintain some vague sense of patriotism and may actually save us somehow. It's very weird. Everything is backwards. And it all traces back to 9/11. I mean, obviously it's the anniversary. And I sort of hate treating 9/11 like some sort of holiday or it's weird. It'd be like celebrating Pearl Harbor Day or memorializing Pearl Harbor Day if we never actually went to war with Japan. It's just this memory of the time that we were attacked and didn't do shit about it and ruined our own country as a consequence of it. So I don't even but it is a good time to go back and go, man, do you remember the world before? Do you remember how everything, the security theater, the Homeland Security, now the Patriot Act that's being turned against Americans, as we always knew it would, it all goes back to 9/11. And 9/11 was, of course, an inside job. So it's...
Wait, what?
It's what first I'm hearing.
Have you not heard this?
Hang on.
No, hold on. This is a new one for me. Are you telling me that burning printer paper didn't take down Building 7? Are you telling me that didn't happen?
Search melting temperature of steel for me real quick.
I'm looking it up. Oh, and Google says I'm on a watch list. I am on a watch list again.
Exactly. My new favorite thing when people go Building 7, I'm like, 7. That's cute. We're all about Building 6 now, boys.
No, and it's funny because Tom Fitton goes, after 9/11, we did a Freedom of Information Act to get the Pentagon footage, and here showing a plane hitting, and all the replies were like, this is the stuff that white pills are giving me hope. All the replies were like, I don't see a plane. What plane are you? There's no plane. There's absolutely no plane. And it's not even we talked about this, I think, last time you were on too, but it's what they do is now, this is one of my favorite ops that they do, is they throw in wild conspiracy theories with actual provable ones. That way everyone looks crazy.
Yeah, they poison the well.
Everyone looks crazy.
It's brilliant when you think about it.
Yeah, because
you're like, I don't know, man. I got questions about the intelligence communities, what they knew, the Saudi.
You're right, it was space reptiles.
Right, direct energy weapon. Okay, buddy. And you're like, no, I was just whatever, man.
And they belittle you and make you... And I'll be honest with you, you look back, a lot of people, even everyone was so patriotic back then that everyone's like, fuck these guys, we're gonna fucking turn them into glass, and then you don't realize what we were doing was behind the scenes. They were like, Patriot Act, right now, we're gonna control you forever, and every president in perpetuity has re-signed it, every single one. The same way they didn't release the JFK stuff. This because Pompeo was in we can't. No, we're not. Told Trump not to, and he didn't. It's.
We were patriotic though. I specifically remember buying so many of those little Chinese-made flags in those Indian gas shops.
I called French fries freedom fries for 2 years. I did my part. Thank you very much.
I even called it freedom onion soup after a while.
No, it's actually true. I called it freedom kissing. That was me.
Freedom kissing.
That's what I called it. No.
Yeah, not. But it's so much of it. But no, yeah, you're right. And although we'll get back to the direct energy weapons
Sure.
because I might differ with you there. But yeah, and like, I haven't, obviously I work for InfoWars. I have an open mind. I think that all of these things are possible. So I don't hold it against anybody if they believe in flat earth or, any of these things. But I am kind of getting sick of it. I am kind of getting sick of like dealing with real, tangible, provable in the mainstream media conspiracies that are taking place, like our rights being destroyed, wars being launched, like human animal hybrids being created. Like
and they are.
I mean, it's insane, and it really is happening. And you're pointing to mainstream media sources. And then, I posted something about 9/11 yesterday saying, like, the big difference between now and 2001 is that back in 2001, they had to actually fly a plane into a building to start a war. Now they just like announce. They're just like, oh, we've been at war. Did we forget to tell you? Sorry. Yeah, we've been at war for a while now.
Hey, boys, new war just dropped.
Yeah. They don't even like bother like pretending that, it's under the NDAA or anything. They just do it and like tell you afterwards, or taking your freedoms through the Patriot Act. It's like with COVID, they were just like, trust us, COVID exists, now give up all of your rights, like no proof necessary. And I got all these responses being like, planes, Harrison, it was CGI, please, I thought you of all people. And it's like, can we just focus on the stuff that like we know for sure is fucked up and not go down the crazy rabbit holes? It's really counterproductive, honestly.
I will concede. I just want to say, it's not that I don't believe direct energy weapons don't exist, right? Like, I do believe they have. They could probably call some fingers of God right from a goddamn satellite if they want to. My point is that everybody wants to overuse that now to the point where people aren't even going to believe those exist. And it's like, look, if I want to burn down a bunch of fucking, places in California or Hawaii, especially the California wildfires, they're always like, direct energy weapon. I'm like, bro, California is always begging to go up like a tinderbox. Like, seriously, you could have a mouse could go in a redwood forest and fart the wrong way, and the whole forest is going to burn down. So I'm like, I'm just saying, do I think they exist? Sure. But it's a lot harder to call a giant fucking laser beam down from space than to just, covertly set some fires, which I do believe they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with like the Hawaii one, I mean, do you remember in January they caught on video like Chinese satellites beaming lasers down onto Hawaii? Like it's funny
Those
to me
were
that
love
like
beams.
Yes, yeah. They were no, actually what it was they were measuring the atmosphere to study climate change. So
because China's really big into climate change, so that makes
of course
sense. That makes sense.
Obviously, right? On one hand, they're literally like depopulating the oceans of fish, but on the other hand, they're launching satellites to measure the carbon production. No, it's all ridiculous. But I just think
it's not like we caught their spy balloons. Okay, get out of here.
I know. Well, that's the other thing is like, yeah, it doesn't mean necessarily that America used direct energy weapons on itself. Like, is China not kind of our enemy? Are they not kind of constantly fucking with us and trying to do things in an underhanded, secretive, destructive way? Like, is this really so far outside of the realm of possibility? Especially, it's just funny to me that like it's 2023 and people go, lasers from satellites, yeah, right, some sci-fi fantasy. It's like, and then you go to just the military website and they're just like, please let us show you the vast array of satellite mounted lasers that we have operational at this moment. Here's how they work and here's what they do. It's like nobody who actually works in these fields thinks this is crazy and beyond possibility. It's like, it's 2023. There are space lasers in orbit right now. You can go check the military sites themselves. They brag about it. So it's just funny to me that people act like that's so out of the realm of possibility.
No, but it's at this point when you say, I honestly think that when you say with the government, whenever something happens now, and this sucks because that I've gotten this way, I always go, did our government? My first culprit in my head's always like our government, and that not for anything else, but because you get burned so many times that you're like, okay, did we do this again? Because fuck the coup in Ukraine. I mean, all the stuff that people get caught doing all the time, and my mind immediately goes to, who does this benefit? Who did this in the government? At worst, our government did it, okay? At best, they had information about it and did nothing, which I think is a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of, going back to 9/11, but I think there's a lot of stuff where we know bad stuff's going to happen. How many of the shooters were known to the FBI? How many? And that's not one or two. We're talking about a lot, right? We're known to the FBI, there were this and that, but those guys were out on the streets roaming there, but God forbid you were January 6th, 3 years in solitary confinement.
Well, to be fair,
and
I think they found Joe Big's passport outside of Tower 1.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That was
That's right.
convenient, huh? Just an hour later, like, hey, I found Muhammad Atta's passport. It's right here.
Wow. So it melted steel beams, but not passports. Okay.
That's that's what things are so different now. Can you imagine that being believed now? Like I can't buy it. It's completely insane. But
we were gullible. I mean, we were gullible because we especially back then, the internet was still kind of in its infancy, right? So you didn't have anybody. I remember this is a true story. I remember looking back, I thought he was crazy, but now I go, man, this guy, poor guy, was tortured. I was in community college after 9/11 that I dropped out of, and I went there, and I remember we had it was an economies class. And the guy after 9/11, like I'm talking about 2 weeks after 9/11, walked in with like a stack of papers that he had printed out. You could tell he printed out, and he was like, not about economy or anything. He goes, we did this. 9/11 was us. This Bush knew about it and this. And we're all like, oh, you're crazy, you big crazy. And you could tell the guy was panicked. He was like, no, I'm telling you. He did it. And he explained now looking back a lot of stuff a lot of good points, right? About Cheney and about the connections and about revenge for George Bush Sr. And he sat there to the point where they complained that he had to give us all A's or he was going to lose his job, which that was nice. But I look back and I go, wow, back then that was the crazy dude that nobody listened to. And you look back and you go, we should have listened to these people, you know?
Yeah, well, I was one of those crazy people, and I think it's so funny that like my dad in particular, you know, it went from like high school, me being like, come on, Dad, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, and then like you fast forward a decade, your dad finds out about QAnon, and suddenly you're the one going, all right, buddy, let's pump the brakes here. It's there's not actually kids in the pizza basement. Let's chill out on all that for a second.
It's like you said, though. I mean, the whole idea of trust the plan is like that should be a fucking red flag immediately when you're doing it. Like that should be immediate psyop.
I don't know how anybody fell for that. But no, look at the Nord Stream pipeline explosion. Like, does anybody in the world think that wasn't America or wasn't Ukraine? So think about what that entails. That's like had to be at least dozens, possibly hundreds of people involved, keeping it totally secret. It was a massively destructive terrorist attack that was like the worst ecological disaster of all time. It was damaging a major ally's crucial infrastructure while flirting with war with an undeclared enemy in Russia. Like, think about what it entails that we blew up the Nord Stream pipeline and realize nothing is beyond the pale for these people. There's nothing that's like too extreme or too far or too, unbelievable for them to pull off. They are literally doing it right in front of our faces with the Nord Stream pipeline.
And then they lie to you and tell you, no, Russia did it themselves.
Yeah, Russia did. They blew up their own pipeline. And then they just laugh at you while the Polish, minister tweets out like, thank you, USA. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Dude, I don't even believe Putin killed Prigozhin. I could be wrong. That's just my gut tells me. I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't believe it.
But that's what you are. You've become so. But they made us all skeptical. Every time something happens, I don't believe it anymore. Like and that's my default is not believing the official story because all they do is lie. Like you said, the pipeline's a great example. If they did it, and then when they were asked, "Did you guys do it?" They're like, "Nah, it was Russia." And then you're like, "Why would Russia blow up their own pipeline?" And then we had to believe that he was just a crazy evil maniac who was what? No.
My relationship with my government is so irreparably damaged. It's just like a chick that you had in your life that you give a million chances to, and now it's like the government can just go, hey, you know what? Let's catch up. You want to grab some lunch? And you're like, why?
What? No.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They come out like official pronounce it. The sky is blue, and you're just like bullshit.
No, it's not
bullshit. I'm gonna go check this out for myself. I think it's once you sort of get used to thinking that way, it's not actually that bad. I feel bad for the people that are just now starting to think this way. My mom the other day, when I was showing her some like AI stuff, just like how you can create AI voices, because this guy Chase at InfoWars now is like doing all this AI stuff where they are putting our faces on movies and like taking my voice and having me read things out. It sounds just like me, but it's not me. My mom's like, I can't trust anything anymore. And I was kind of like, wait, you trusted things before this? You actually, from the beginning, your position should be, this is probably bullshit. Let me, have it confirmed before I even entertain this idea. And that's not actually an unhealthy way to live if when it's shown to be accurate, you can then, say, okay, that's what this is. Like, you can't just think everything's fake all the time. Everyone's a Fed, everyone's compromised, everything is an illusion, the world is flat. Like, that's unhealthy, I think. But having the initial skepticism is definitely healthy.
I'll say this, though, just going to your point about the sky being blue. If the government told me the sky was blue, it wouldn't be enough for me to go outside and look. If I went outside and saw the sky as blue, I would go to a doctor and be like, there's something fucking wrong with my eyes. I don't know what's going on, man, but the government said the sky's blue. I went out and the fucking sky's blue. So something's fucked.
Do you know how bad I wanted aliens to be real? And now that the government said aliens are real, I don't believe aliens are real. That's where I'm at now. I've done got completely around.
Yeah, I don't believe they're real, and I now am to the point where I don't give a shit if they are.
Yeah.
Things are so fucked up.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's you can just imagine the globalists sitting in their caves or on some yacht somewhere being like, it's time, release the information about the aliens. And then they do, and everybody's just like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
like we don't buy it. We don't care.
You knew who your small IQ NPC friends were when they started that little blue beam shit a while back, and like any of your friends that went, wow, aliens, and you're like, we're about to get into a fucking like legit fight, like a hot war with a fucking nuclear superpower.
No, dude, it's true. It reminds me of that it was that episode of The Simpsons, the Mr. Burns, where they're all sitting around like a large table, just deciding. Just the Republican. Yes, exactly. And it's like that's what it is. They're just waiting to drop the next thing because of how bad it is, and then they have people. Fighting over dumb shit like, you know, well, what's Andrew Tate doing, and I'm like, I don't care about any of these people. The world's on fire. Like the dumb shit that we're fighting about, that we're complaining about is so minuscule, you know, compared to what's really happening, and you become frustrated. Like, a lot of people go like, man, you guys have got a really black-pilled. It's like, okay, it's not that we don't want to be. But it's like, you know, we have to joke about literally everything, both sides now, because you sit and you watch the Republicans talk, and well, that was a great speech. What a great speech he gave. You're not doing anything about it. You're still going to confirm McCarthy. You know what I mean? That's a great. You hate McCarthy? Then why'd you vote for him?
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, and
we all just want to go back to September 10th, 2001, and play a little PS2.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? Just fucking relax.
99 for me. I want to go to 99. I'm happy right there.
Yeah, that was a good year.
Like the day after the Matrix came out,
perfect.
You could just hang out there, wear your leather jacket, and yeah, man, everything fucking sucks now, and it's just getting worse and worse. I mean, the fact that we are having to talk about masks again, I want to kill myself.
What do you think about that? What do you think about the mask thing?
It's like we went through this. We won this argument already. I'm not doing it again. I'm not having this argument again. I'm not hashing it out again. We've had the argument. We were proven right. You all admitted we were right. And now you expect us to like put on a mask again and act like it's ridiculous when we just remember the last 2 years. It's ridiculous that we remember all the things that we learned.
But did you not see Schumer come out today and he was like, the Americans are worried about more stuff than impeaching Biden. We wouldn't have time for political witch hunt. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Dude, are you fucking with me? Like, it wasn't even that long ago. It's not even shrouded in time where you forget what happened. It's like, I remember this. We covered it. We remember you guys doing it. And Fauci came out. Trust the science, trust the science. You saw him on a recent, CNN or MSNBC, where it's like, these reports are misleading. They're misleading. No, there's the science you wanted us to trust. That masks don't work. And I see people wearing masks again, too.
I was going to bring that up. You were showing me videos at the airport of just, I'm like, you're doing this again?
Yeah, it's wild. Like, people are doing it, and it's like, Floridians pretty much don't, but, so we do have a lot of tourists here, and you do see a lot of them wearing masks, and you're like, what are you doing? It's 100 degrees outside. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
Dude, it's miserable. It's cult programming. Like, literally, the more they suffer, the more they become enthralled by the lie, right? It's like literally a thing with cults where like there will be a cult member that's acting up and they get the shit beaten out of them by all the other cult members. Like, they all take off their belts and just like whip them. They're laying on the floor. And when they're done, they're like, thank you for teaching me. I was so wrong. I'll never mess up again. And they actually like become more enthralled in the cult programming. So these people are like, the mask sucks. I got hurt because of the vaccine, but like that proves how dedicated I am to being a good person. It's literal cult psychology that we're dealing with on a civilizational level. It's horrifying.
If you're fully boosted now, that means you would have had to have 8 shots. Eight
shots.
I counted 8.
How would
8.
you survive past 4?
I mean, I don't know. And then you see people passing out, and they tell you, no. We've always had high school kids having heart attacks on basketball courts. You're like, no, we have not.
I've been around for 40 years. I've never seen that.
No,
maybe like once or twice in a lifetime where you go, wow, that was a freak thing, huh? Who knew the kid was sick? But
it's like, oh, it turns out that he was doing heroin the night before. Like there was always a reason. And yeah, you can go back to old news stories like that and see exactly how it was treated back then, because it is completely unexpected and rare and has never happened before. I mean, I knew people that like, I had a friend that was going into Europe, and she's like, well, I'm going to Europe, so I got to get vaccinated. So I'm doing that on Friday. So I will be out of commission on Saturday. And it's like, so you know that by getting this vaccine, you are going to be like immobile. You're going to be immobilized. You're going to be so injured and sick from this vaccine that you won't be able to get out of bed, but you're going to get the vaccine anyway. I mean, how do you deal with these? What do you tell to these people to make them wake up? I don't know if it's possible.
What we talk about this in the show, but what do you think about I think a big thing that would help is if Trump were to stop being so arrogant and say, look, man, I fucked up. They pushed me to do this. This thing is bad. But I think Trump's still defending it doesn't help either. That's the part where Trump, for us, like that really that was a gut shot, because you're like, oh, wait a second. It's one thing. Look, it's not that you should have, because we're skeptical people, right? But it's one thing to, at the beginning when all this is happening, to rush it up, but like to still be defending it is super weird to me. Why are you still defending it? It's okay to take the L on this. As a matter of fact, I think more people would respect you if you did.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of different things that go into this, obviously, and like. I mean, I think the thing you need to understand, that everybody needs to understand, and we all sort of do, is that like the entire COVID pandemic, the response, everything about it was an attack on Trump. So I don't even think it's fair to like criticize somebody who, I mean, think about it, because I went back and I looked at the day that Event 201 was happening, right, where the tabletop exercise where they planned everything out. And it was October 18th, 2019. So I just typed that into the Wayback Machine, went to like the CNN headlines, and it's like Trump impeachment heats up, shocking new revelations. And it's like stuff I'd forgotten even happened, but it's like he's being hammered for this. Meanwhile, the economy is higher than it's ever been. The stock market is setting record after record. He's in the middle of a trade war with China, and China is like literally the headline is like China's economy shrinks to the lowest level since 1990. Like he was having massive success. He's being attacked with the impeachment over Ukraine, which of course we all, it's another rabbit hole to go down. And at that same time, secretly in a little room in New York somewhere, it's the leadership of China and the UN and Avril Haines, who's now the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, the head of all of the intelligence agencies. She's the one running the whole thing. It's them getting together to plan this attack on Trump. And they launched this attack. And it was extremely successful with the vaccine thing. And I've talked about it a bunch. I think I get why he's doing what he's doing. And I don't think this is why he's doing it, but I think it has the potential to be more positive than negative. And he sort of did this, earlier this week, he went on an interview and was like, yeah, people are saying the vaccine's not good and I want to get to the bottom of it. And I think that's the right move, is to go, look, people are asking questions about our wonderful vaccine, the vaccine that saved everybody that I came out with. It's beautiful, but people have questions, and I'm a man of the people, so I will do a investigation. We'll get to if you got scammed, I got scammed, and I don't like getting scammed. So we're going to do an investigation, because then, they're not going to be able to say, well, Trump's just an anti-vaxxer and this is a completely illegitimate investigation. If he gets elected president and actually can be pressured, and I think, he responds to his audience. If we can pressure him to investigate the vaccine, you don't have to admit fault, Mr. Trump. You don't have to go back on anything, but just say, hey, out of fairness, people have questions. I want the answers to these questions too. Let's do a full investigation. If the shot wasn't as good as they say it was, then some heads are going to roll. And I think that actually would be like better than him becoming an anti-vaxxer and then doing something like that. I think he should hold the line of where he is, saying he loves the vaccine, but We'll do an independent investigation. I'll put Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at the head of it. He'll get to the bottom of things, and we'll abide by whatever they come up with. Maybe it's a pipe dream, but I feel like that could be a good way that he could, reverse his fortunes on that, because I know a lot of people hate Trump because the vaccine thing. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think I understand his reasons for doing what he's doing.
I think it's I'll tell you why I think it's a big deal, because my super Republican family members that, because Trump said it was safe, went and took it, and one of them died. I mean, so it is a big deal. I mean, I hear what you're saying in one way, but on the other side,
I get that.
It is a big deal to me. It's a big deal to a lot of people. MAGA hat wearing family members were like, well, I trust Trump, so you could play 5D's chess, but I don't want to play it at the cost of people's lives. And that's the part where that pissed me off more than anything. Look, I understand that you want to play 5D chess with politics or with China and all this shit. I get it, man. You got to play the game. I got it. Well, but he took a really long time, even now, just to say I'm going to study it. Study what? Like, there's nothing to study. Like, either I could admit, again, I understand Trump's arrogance is a big part of I understand that's what makes him great in certain things, but it's also the blinders that he puts on, and when it starts affecting people's lives, when people are fucking dying, that's where we were like, no, fuck off now, because you have people going like, well, if Trump says it's safe, old people listen to him. They listen to you. Yeah. They don't. They're not us. They don't know the 5D chess is happening. They just think, oh, Trump says it's safe, I'm gonna go get it. Then their heart explodes.
Well, no, for real. No, but to be clear, I think that Trump was sincere. Like, I think that Trump still has kind of this like boomer, like elite class mentality where like he sees all of his friends doing, like, taking the shot and giving it to their kids. So he's sitting there like, of course the vaccine's good. Why are my good friends giving it to their children if it's not good? I don't think he was playing 5D chess going, I know the vaccine is bad, but I'm going to say it's good to play the. I don't think he's doing that. I think he sincerely thought the vaccine was good and thinks it's awesome and is very proud of it. I don't think that's 5D chess.
So if he's not playing 5D chess, then he's just a fucking idiot, which doesn't really inspire hope in me either.
Right.
Look, I'm just glad we're not going to lose our governor. I'm so glad our governor can't fucking get through
he can't smile, so we're going to keep. He can't smile, so we're going to keep a governor.
Thank
so that's
God
nice.
for that.
But it's
Ron DeSantis.
I know. To trust, listen, no one's sadder than us, bud. Okay, trust me, no one's sadder than us.
That smile killed his fucking career, man. That was a Howard Dean moment.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing. I mean, it was bad. Let's be honest. The announcement of his campaign was bad. I mean, all of it was bad.
Agreed.
Just so if he had just been Trump's dude, he could have been. I mean, in 4 years, he's president for 2 terms. Like, if he'd just been a little patient, the world was his, but he had to try to go against Trump, and that was a dumb thing.
I mean,
Ron was that friend that had a few too many beers at the bar, and you're like, dude, you could totally kick that fucking guy's ass. You think so? Yeah, dude, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
That guy ain't shit, bro. It's all glamour muscles. All right, yeah, I'm gonna kick his fucking ass. You're like, dude, he's gonna get killed.
No, I know. Look,
it's Jeb Bush pumping him up in the background,
rubbing his shoulders. You got this, champ. Don't worry about it.
But for us, and obviously we were pretty hardcore DeSantis supporters, specifically because what I mentioned with Trump and the vax, and Julian Assange, and the JFK thing,
and the fact that DeSantis did what you just said, you admitted Trump can't do, which is, I admit I was wrong.
About the
I was listening to everybody else, and it turns out everybody else is retarded. So we're opening it back up.
So he was, but then when he comes out and his goals are like, we're gonna fight anti-Semitism in Guam, and I'm like, fucking what?
We're gonna drone strike Mexico.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second, what, you're doing fucking what now? And again, same reason I don't like the Vivek guy. That Vivek guy, look, for me, that Vivek guy says all the right things, but if you're not going to win and never have to do anything, you could say whatever you want. You could promise the world, and that's how I am with him.
Vivek's like talking to the Zoomers, and he's like, "Yeah, we need to get out there, kids, and break up the banks. We're gonna, get some real equity out there." And he's like talking to a black church, and he's like, "We need to outlaw white folks, y'all. Woo! Like whatever
you guys
will
ever heard
get
of
them to
Eminem?
cheer."
Let me break this thing down.
Vivek acts like a guy like the internet doesn't exist.
Right.
He acts like cameras and the internet don't exist.
He's another. But look, that's my thing. It's like, and if they let Trump run, and we'll see what happens. And also, like, they stole the election once. Why won't they do it again? Like, it's like we always joke on the show, like all we got to do is vote harder. You're not voting hard enough.
Yeah, how hard do we have to
how
vote?
hard
Do you
we
think,
have to
Harrison,
vote?
Get out of this situation.
Do we need to vote like 20%
Did we not vote
harder?
hard enough last
we
time?
need to vote harder.
I felt like with COVID, we were all pretty stressed out. I voted pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out every single one of us has to drop off a mailbag of 10,000 votes in Detroit, and then it's walk in the park.
You forget about you forget about the pizza boxes that were fortifying the elections that they had to cover up the windows with.
And that's bullshit. I got up in the daytime for that.
He doesn't get up in the daytime. No one's more. Listen, you know Mersh meant
I know. He's never been on my show once.
No.
He won't do it. He won't wake up early.
No. He
come
can't.
on American Journal.
I can do it if I stay up.
Which means you'll be drunk.
I'm fine with that.
That'd be fun.
Fucking hammered Merch. By the way, again, thank you for having us on your show when we went up there, man. That was a lot of fun.
You are a gem of a man.
You really are. Thank you.
Oh, please.
Dude,
no, you guys are killing it. Is this the first time I've been on your Rumble stream? I don't think I've been on since you guys were on
you haven't been on the
YouTube,
Rumble.
But I'm just looking at y'all's numbers now, like totally killing it, man. Y'all did the
Dude,
right move.
Yeah,
we
got
gulag,
as soon as we went to Rumble, we got on Shadowban, and people actually found us, and that's all it took. And we've been doing really well over here.
We told Rumble from day one when we were with them, like, you know, because they were like, well, what can we do to, like, you know, work with you guys? And we're like, we need you to do what YouTube couldn't do. Just get the fuck out of our way.
Leave us alone.
Just get out of our way.
That's all. Let us run our thing, and we'll be fine.
Stop throwing objects in front of us and dumping mop buckets and banana peels in front of us, and just let us stop throwing barrels at us like Donkey Kong, and just let us do our jobs.
So yeah, they kicked us off of our YouTube channel that had 44,000, which by the way should have had hundreds of thousands, but we got completely shadow banned once after the Crowder apocalypse thing happened, when that Mazda guy decided no one on YouTube was allowed to make money. So we stopped there. So it was, but they took that channel, and the final nail in the coffin, and it'll be something that I tell people all the time. The last strike we ever got was for cyberbullying Jeffrey Epstein, and I was like, there's not another way to be taken off this site.
Rest in peace, sweet prince.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that, buddy.
So that was what did it for a 4-year-old video where we were talking about, and I re-listened to it, by the way. It literally was just us making fun of Jeffrey Epstein. So,
well, he's a protected class. You know, it's sexual minorities, racial minorities, Mossad agents, whatever else.
And he's like three of them.
Protected.
And he's like three. Exactly. He's a bunch of. He checks off a lot of lists. And also that weird painting of Bill Clinton in a dress that no many people talk about that they should be talking about, right? And George W. Bush holding airplanes. Yeah, you're right.
I gotta ask.
He was an art connoisseur.
Do you think out of all the hundreds of people that went to Epstein Island, do you think there was at least one guy who was just there for the zip line?
Yeah, I know there was. There was one guy that was sure to. There was one guy that just really liked the food there.
Yeah, the food and the zip line.
Yeah, you're right. There was probably one guy that was just like, no, I don't want to do anything with kids. It's a free trip to the Bahamas. You know, I'm not gonna say no. You know,
just one Mr. Magoo.
That'd be a good skit, actually. The one normal guy on Epstein Island who just is completely oblivious. He's just having a great time. Behind him, there's just like a guy in a devil mask, just like sacrificing a woman. He's just like, this sunset is incredible.
And then he's at the buffet, like,
it's a beautiful place, Virgin Islands, beautiful place.
Is this bacon wrapped shrimp? This is so good. And behind them, they're doing spare cooking and they're eating somebody. If you know what, if SNL had balls, I swear to God, if SNL had balls,
it would be funny if the premise is just that they're all in on just not letting him in on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just let him pretend we're just a beach house that we hang out at, and they're just constantly behind his back doing shit.
Hey, why is there a law?
All of their masseuses are like 14-year-old girls, and his is just like a big Russian woman.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'll massage you now.
It's like a 60-year-old Japanese guy, and you're like, okay, this is going to be a good massage.
Don't forget, Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, got a foot rub by an underage girl on an airplane on the way to Epstein Island. People forget that, but that's a real thing.
It's all real.
It's 6 o'clock. Harrison, thank you so much for being on.
The great Harrison Smith, folks, a wonderful patriot, good guy, terrific guy, all the fun folks at InfoWars. I'll never say that in public. I still have a campaign.
Hey, Harrison.
Damn you, Trump.
InfoWars.
Thank you, fellas, very much. It's always a pleasure. Anytime
tell Owen we'll go put some money on his books.
You just accidentally, go on the other side of the world, and we have some sort of clock alignment. You're hours ahead, I'm hours behind. Whatever it is, love to have you guys
come on drunk one morning.
But by the way, go to defendowen.com to defend my coworker and friend who's being sent to prison for 2 years. Defendowen.com.
Or go to VineLink and then look up Shroyer. Come on.
You're gonna put money in his
Yeah, we
commissary.
gotta put some money on his books. All right, my man's got to eat while he's in there.
I did send him a text message today. I said, you don't have to reply. I'm sure you're getting a bunch of these, bro, but we got your back. Because all you guys over there have been, everybody over there, Alex, you, Owen, everybody, Rob, everyone behind the scene has been so good to us over there, and we really do appreciate that. So you've been the ones that have been real with us. So
I hope Owen comes back like Dominic Mysterio, and he just really plays it up.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
God.
If I were Owen from now on for the rest
Prison
of my
tats?
life, when I was in federal prison, when I was in prison.
That should be his thing. That should be his
When
thing.
I got back from con college, he should just start talking like a fucking convict.
And remember, Owen, you only do 2 days: the day you go in and the day you get out.
Come out.
Yeah, but seriously, man, what you said defendowen.com, is that correct?
I think defendowen.com is the one to go to for now.
Okay, go over there.
The Owen Benjamin one.
No. Do not.
Yeah, go to beartaria.org and contribute to Owen Shroyer.
Beartaria.org/scam. It's how you.
Guys, I need your money too. Same difference. I live in Idaho. That's pretty. I'm with my wife and kids all day. That's like prison.
It probably is like prison for him.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
Harrison's like, I at least to get the fuck out of the house for a couple hours a day.
Yeah, right.
Put on a suit and go do something.
Oh man, thank you again, man. I really appreciate you coming on, and of course, you're welcome on. You're the all-time leader, the guest we've had on the most. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It should be It might be embarrassing for you. I don't know. And by the way,
thank you, Miami Milf. Posted the link in the chat.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
It's givesendgo.com/defendowen.
Boom.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, man. Take it easy, dude. We really appreciate it.
All right, y'all too. Thank you so much, fellas.
Later.